Hello and welcome to The Update. I'm Heidi Tiltons. The federal government is preparing an assistance package for flood-affected areas of Victoria. At least 1,000 homes have already been flooded or isolated and almost 5,000 properties are without power. Defence personnel are already on the ground in the affected areas. More flooding is expected in New South Wales and Tasmania in the coming days. Australia's paid parental leave could be reformed, potentially increasing the time off with a newborn to 26 weeks. The move would cost around $600 million a year. The Prime Minister won't confirm anything yet, but believes an improvement to paid parental leave helps everyone.
People having families is good for the economy as well, and so good for individuals. And Labor will always do what we can to provide more support, but I'll have more to say about that in over the coming period.
The opposition says the federal government needs to stop talking down the Australian economy, arguing we're in a much better position than other countries. Treasurer Jim Chalmers has warned the nation is not immune from global problems as he wraps up high-level talks in Washington. But Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor says we have a strong economy and a strong budget position.
Of course there are threats on the horizon. There have been for years. That's the reality of being in government. But we do need to see from him a clear plan about dealing with inflation and interest rates.
The boss of Optus says the cybersecurity breach has shone the light on the risks that all companies face as long as there are cyber criminals in the community. Last month's attack on the telco saw almost 10 million customers' personal information, such as driver's licence and Medicare details, leaked. Optus CEO Kelly Bayer-Rosmarin has told Sky, fortunately, passport details have been protected.
Thanks to the great efforts of 3 different departments, we've been able to confirm that nobody needs to replace a passport. It's safe to travel. It's safe for people to continue with their holiday plans.
Mandatory COVID isolation comes to an end as of today, along with pandemic leave payments. Up until now, people were required to quarantine for up to 7 days if they tested positive. And Border Force officers have foiled a plot to import more than 20 kilograms of heroin into Australia. 2 Malaysian men have been charged with allegedly importing dozens of bricks of the drug hidden inside electrical monitoring equipment. In sport, a rival trainer says Nature Strip won't be in for an easy ride in tomorrow's $15 million Everest. Joe Pride says Eduardo, the only horse in the field to have ever beaten the favourite, is ready to make it personal. St Kilda has sacked coach Brett Ratton just 97 days into a 2-year contract extension. Club bosses fronted the media, saying the decision was made after a review found troubling news that suggested the club was not in a position to contend for the premiership. And the ball with which Diego Maradona scored his famous Hand of God goal is expected to fetch up to $5.4 million at auction. In entertainment news, Bruno Mars has pulled his Silk Sonic album from Grammys contention. Mars telling the Rolling Stone they'd like to gracefully, humbly and most importantly, sexually bow out of submitting their album this year. Mark Wahlberg has turned his back on LA after deciding to give his 4 children a better life in Nevada. The actor put his Beverly Hills mega mansion on the market in April for an eye-watering $90 million. And Olivia Wilde has clapped back at her haters who claim she abandoned her 2 kids since dating Harry Styles. The actress says she shares custody with her ex Jason Sudeikis and says she goes to great lengths to protect their privacy. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcast News team, but we'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of The Update.